Hypersonic missiles were front-page news again in early 2023 when Vladimir Putin claimed to have launched a warship carrying advanced hypersonic missiles.
Неуязвимо для сегодняшних и для перспективных средств ПВО и ПРО.
The Zircon missiles, which Putin claims can travel up to speeds of Mach 9, are expected to be tested during training exercises with China. China has been boldly testing various hypersonic weapons in recent years, and a brand new hypersonic generator could power an unthinkable arsenal. So how is the US keeping up with this threat? Welcome back to Get Around How. With the invasion of Ukraine, global tensions run high and there is a fear of other conflicts breaking out at any time. There are a lot of questions about what will happen if the battle escalates. There are way too many questions on everyone's mind, but today we will be answering this one. Can America keep up with China's hypersonic missile program? The threat of missiles is nothing new. For decades, these weapons have been used in armed conflicts and political battles. Missiles are usually used to deliver a payload of explosive warheads over a long distance. Their speed and precision make them a favorite way to strike strategic targets like military bases, ports, and infrastructure. Their use can be traced back to World War II when the Nazi-developed V-2 rockets became the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile. The V-2 quickly became the blueprint for US developments in both defense and space programs. Now, missiles are a must-have for any military. Missiles have been long used as a tool of political coercion, with nations and leaders using the threat of missile strikes to bend neighboring countries and global adversaries to their will. The threat of missile strikes can serve as a deterrent to would-be aggressors, a reminder of what is at stake for each enemy. Deploying missiles in strategic locations is another way many nations provide a visual reminder of their military capabilities. Missiles have also been used as a political bargaining chip, with nations trading access to missile technology or agreeing to limit their missile programs in arms control agreements or negotiations. While missiles have been a regular part of war and politics for decades, hypersonic missiles present a new threat. Hypersonic weapons travel faster than Mach 5, or 5+ times the speed of sound, up to 10,000 miles per hour. Conventional cruise missiles, by comparison, range between 550 and 2,000 miles per hour. That's like a cheetah racing a tortoise. The difference in speed means that early warning time disappears and countermeasures can't keep up. There are two main kinds of hypersonic missiles: hypersonic cruise missiles, or HCMs, which are powered by high-speed air-breathing engines, and hypersonic glide vehicles, or HGVs, which are launched from a rocket before gliding to a target. Hypersonic weapons don't follow a ballistic trajectory and can bob and weave. Plus, they fly at lower altitudes, evading radar and dodging defenses. As of now, the US is largely defenseless against these new weapons. That kind of vulnerability has the potential to shift the balance of power in any political conflict. China certainly isn't keeping its advancements in hypersonic weapons under wraps. Beijing has made a significant investment in the technology of HGVs with test facilities, engineering, and publicized testing. China has successfully tested the DF-17, a medium-range ballistic missile designed to launch an HGV. The DF-17 has a range of up to 2,500 kilometers, with its accompanying HGV able to go another 1,600 to 2,400 kilometers at speeds of up to Mach 10. That's one fast missile. Plus, China has reportedly conducted a successful test of the Starry Sky 2 hypersonic cruise missile. The vehicle was sent into space by a multi-stage rocket before separating and maneuvering back to Earth. Some experts say this is looking promising for an anti-ship missile, possibly within the next few years. China also tested a nuclear-capable HGV in August 2021 from a Long March rocket, which orbited the Earth before re-entering the atmosphere and speeding towards its target. While this is technically a fractional orbital bombardment system, it has the potential to carry conventional or nuclear warheads anywhere in the world at hypersonic speeds. Yikes. China has a good bit of infrastructure devoted to hypersonic weapons, allowing the nation to outpace any competitors in terms of testing and development. Combined with their increase in nuclear warheads over the past several decades, China is primed to pose a significant threat to an enemy. The US hasn't been sitting around twiddling its proverbial thumbs while China and Russia bulk up their hypersonic weapons arsenal. The Department of Defense has funded several programs, but there are deep divisions about where the focus and funding should go. Countermeasures, building their own HGVs and HCMs, or diplomatic programs to limit the use of weapons altogether. The division on addressing the issue has led to several false starts, and the US hypersonic program has had plenty of struggles. According to open source reporting, the US is conducting research, development, testing, and evaluation on 4 systems across the Army, Navy, and Air Force. The Army's long-range hypersonic weapon and the Navy's conventional prompt strike missile are nearly identical except for launch location, ground and sea. They've both gone through multiple tests. The Army hopes to have operational capability by the end of 2023, while the Navy aims for 2025. The Air Force successfully tested their air-launched rapid response weapon, but only after 3 consecutive failures that pushed its operational deadline back nearly a year.
Be advised in about 3 minutes or so will be 2 minutes or so will be a right-hand turn.
Still, almost 30 ARRW systems could be operational by April 2024, just in time for Taiwan's next presidential election. The Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, or DARPA, has several things up its sleeves. However, these are still in vague concept form, not actual programs for delivery. Hypersonics have been something on the US DoD's mind for a long time, but in the years China was building its program with single-minded fixation, the US backed away to focus on other things. Now, they're scrambling to catch up. There is still hope that the US military will be able to roll out its own hypersonic weapons within the next months and years, not decades. A nearly $5 billion budget for 2023 toward the research should help. There are many who think the investment in creating a US hypersonic weapons program will only add fuel to the fire, setting off a global arms race. No matter how quickly the US can catch up to China on hypersonic technology, there's one frightening advantage Chinese missiles will still have: the use of a nuclear warhead. When armed with nuclear warheads, hypersonic missiles don't need to be very accurate thanks to nuclear blast effects. Close enough takes on a whole new meaning. But the US is designing its hypersonic weapons to be conventionally armed with ballistics. That means they need to be even more accurate, up to 100 times more accurate than China's missiles. They're also most technically challenging to develop, pushing the timeline further. So if we can't match China's hypersonic arsenal missile for missile, what about defense against these weapons? US officials say that the current terrestrial and space-based defenses cannot detect and track hypersonic missiles. Even if the existing systems could catch the flash of a hypersonic launch, they'd quickly lose track of it thanks to its speed and maneuverability. The Pentagon says it plans to launch hundreds of small satellites with sensors capable of tracking heat sources cooler than rocket boosters. This plan, called the Hypersonic and Ballistic Tracking Space Sensor Network, could be up and running by 2030. The sensors are the first step, but the US will still need interceptors that could keep up with a swerving target. Current missile defense interceptors are designed to destroy intercontinental ballistic missiles in the upper atmosphere at the top point of their arc of travel not to chase after a ping-ponging low-flying weapon. Interceptors could destroy a hypersonic missile by colliding with it or by detonating a warhead nearby. But there's also the possibility of directed energy like lasers, neutral particle beams, and microwaves or radio waves. Think Star Wars. And while these possibilities are closer than a galaxy far, far away, they're still some years away from being a reality. There's also the possibility of moving the point to interception from the typical mid-course used in other missiles to much closer to the final moments of flight right before it hits its target. This is when hypersonic missiles are slowest, so theoretically the easiest to intercept. If all this sounds a little daunting, it's important to remember that all new weapons have brought this kind of fear. It takes time to develop defenses, but history has demonstrated that no weapon so far is invincible, and it's likely that hypersonic missiles won't be either. And while the US may be behind in current hypersonic advancements, they're not in the dark about the fact and are working hard to catch up. Plus, China and Russia are still in testing phases themselves, with some saying the success of the programs has been overhyped. Design challenges and massive costs are keeping these weapons from being something our enemies have a stockpile of. It's likely that the playing field will be evened out within a few years as hypersonic weapons become cemented in the modern warfare arsenal.